Hey everybody, welcome to Fresh Out the Podcast. I am the board game guru and game master extraordinaire, Johannanon.
Co-host Casualty CDG, but you could call me Gary. I'm a retired child crimes and human trafficking detective turned tabletop titan and improv comedian.
You feel better?
I do, yeah. That
Yeah,
was
you
good.
good?
Yeah,
Good over there?
I think so.
Well, I am the professional media and movie
extraordinaire,
mastermind,
John.
the Funhouse, Drew Munhausen, and welcome to episode 15 of Fresh Out the Podcast. We are approaching Halloween here in a few weeks, so there's spooky vibes in the air,
There's a
which
whole
I'll talk about later in
skeleton.
some of the movies that I watched.
There's a whole skeleton behind me.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
I actually I hadn't looked close enough to see that, but now I see it, and I don't know how I missed that. Gary, he always has a large dragon skull behind him, but there is a skeleton above that now as well.
And I'm wearing a Halloween costume. I'm Superman.
It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
I have a cape.
Is that a Superman? Is that a child Superman costume that you're squeezing into right now?
No.
Is that a
Well, it has short sleeves, but it has a cape.
Yeah. It's a business casual.
It looks like maybe it was a onesie at one point for a child, and Jahan ripped the sleeves and legs off.
No, this is not the Superman onesie that you bought me for Christmas.
Oh man, I forgot that was a thing. That was really good.
Yeah, it didn't fit. I couldn't breathe in that thing because it was too tight.
They don't make them in your size.
Speaking of children's Halloween costumes, have y'all seen the picture of Timothy Chalamet as his first Willy Wonka picture that leaked out? Have y'all heard about this movie?
I've heard.
He's playing a young Willy Wonka, like a Wonka origin, and the first photo of him in costume has been released, and it's something. It's interesting.
Your note for Timmy C Wonka.
Uh-huh.
I looked it up and I saw the picture. I'm okay with it. I showed my wife Annie, and she said that they made it it's like a good looking Wonka, like a cute Wonka. She's like, oh, look at the cute little Wonka.
He's less weird looking than Depp's Wonka, but leans more towards that than the classic Gene Wilder Wonka.
I mean, Timmy C has a little bit of Johnny D in him. He definitely looks like a young Johnny D.
So it's going to be a young Willy Wonka?
Yes, I believe it's supposed to be a Wonka origin of sorts.
So what's he going to do? Go colonize the Oompa Loompas?
Man, I can't wait to see that. That should be fun.
Possibly so.
What a riveting tale.
Jesus Christ.
This dude, he's popping up in literally everything now. I mean, obviously Dune comes out officially next week, and he's in that. He's playing Wonka. It just seems like Timmy C, man, he's everywhere.
Yeah, Timmy C can do no wrong right now. He was on SNL last season, wasn't he? And I think he was really bad.
Oh, really? I did not watch that one.
I'm pretty sure it was him. And yeah, he was. I mean, not everyone's a comedian though. He's a good actor so far as I can tell.
I do think he's very talented. I do, and I think that he's made really solid career choices so far. I feel like the movies he's been in have been good choices and have ended up being good. And him taking on Wonka, like a Wonka origin, I don't know. Is that the right path? Maybe it'll be good. I don't know, but it's not something that really excites me.
I would bet against it being good.
Which is hopefully.
I mean,
hopefully it's nothing that makes his career take it. Although it seems like he's pretty on fire, so I don't see that happening. He'll probably still make money.
Every now and again, a movie comes out that you do not need to remake. Gene Wilder nailed it. You don't need to do it again. It was done. So,
this reminds me of the Franco Oz movie that was that you didn't need to make a prequel Oz Franco movie. I'm not sure you needed to make a prequel Timmy C Wonka movie. I don't know if this needs to happen. That being said, I like Wonka, and I think it's every like actor kid's dream to be like Willy Wonka or Alice in Wonderland or in one of those like fantastical tales that you read as a kid or you act in those plays as a kid. So I can see him jumping and saying yes at the role because I think I probably would have given the opportunity.
Yeah, well said. Like as a theater kid at heart,
Yeah.
like playing Wonka is kind of a dream in that regard.
Exactly.
Just to be able to wear the costume and prance around and wear a top hat and all that kind of stuff.
So you can just do that anytime you want to, though. No one's stopping you.
Well, that's what theater kids do. That's why it's what makes them theater kids. Is if you want to find the kids in high school that are wearing top hats and prancing around, you'll find them in the theater department. They're doing that because they want to grow up to play Willy Wonka.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or the Mad Hatter. You know, they're doing it for one of those old fantastical tales of the stage, and so of course he wants to do it.
I didn't realize that people who love hats and actors on a Venn diagram was just a circle, Gary.
People who love hats and prancing are in the same Venn diagram as stage actors.
Even the most serious, dramatic actors like to dress up in costumes and act silly. That's just part of acting. They you know, sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, I never understood in my head until recently. I was talking to Justin, my roommate, and he said, like, he would never want to be an actor in a million years. He said he would want to be on set or do carpentry or anything, but he would not. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't want to pretend to be somebody else for 8 hours a day on set. And I was like, why not? Like, what do you mean you don't want to do that? That sounds great. Yeah, it was like the first time I ever talked to anybody who my brain like exploded. Like, what do you mean that's what everyone should want to do?
Some people like to take it a step beyond just the dressing up in silly costumes and be like Christian Bale and lose, 60 pounds for a role. And then for the next one, you gain 100 pounds for the role. Yeah, that's their way of dressing up and having fun. And, good for them.
And I guess he's really fun to be around is what they say whenever he does that.
That's what they say.
I can't really argue any of these points while I'm dressed up as Superman.
So I'm gonna say I think this movie, I think it's gonna fall flat. I don't think this Wonka is gonna be the best of the Wonkas by any stretch of the imagination. I'll probably see it when it comes to a streaming service near you.
I'll watch it because I watch everything. For better or for worse.
It's not gonna be good though.
I like glance through a headline. Is it gonna be a musical by chance?
Oh, I don't even know. I haven't looked at that far into it.
If it is going to be a musical, then I will not watch it when it comes to a streaming service near you.
You don't like musicals?
I do not, and I don't need to see a Timmy C Wonka musical.
I like some.
You're out on musicals altogether?
It's a shame.
A musical is one of the worst ways to start. Is the worst way to lead to get me interested in something. Like, if you're going to get me interested in Hamilton, it's going to start with history and hip-hop, and then you're going to tell me it's a musical. Because if you lead with musical, you're losing me right out the gate.
Where are you at? Have you watched The Greatest Showman? The Hugh Jackman, Barnum P.T. Barnum movie?
I turned on The Greatest Showman, and I got, 24 minutes in. I was like, holy shit, this is too much this is too much. It's too much.
Fair. Totally fair. We won't go down that rabbit hole. What we can do is go to our actual main discussion of the week. And it's actually an event that's very much still in progress. But I feel like a lot of the big news kind of came today. And that's DC. It's not DC FanDome. I believe it's DC FanDome.
It is.
Is the proper name of the event. It is ongoing. They've been releasing things left and right today. The biggest one of which I believe is the trailer for The Batman. Not trailer for Batman. Trailer for The Batman. starring Robert Pattinson.
And not just any
as
Batman.
The Caped Crusader. Directed by, I believe, Matt Reeves is the director, who did the latter two movies of the recent Planet of the Apes franchise, and now he's moving over to Batman territory. And did y'all watch this trailer?
Yes.
Half of it.
Oh, Gary has watched
you
half
just
the
turn it
trailer.
off
I
in the
appreciate your honesty. I appreciate
Yeah.
your honesty.
I did turn it off in the middle. I'm sure we'll get right to that when you start asking us how we feel about it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Batman. Why did you turn it off midway through, Gary?
Oh boy, did that look like a boring, long piece of shit. Even the trailer looks like a boring, long piece of shit. I think they're going for Detective Batman, which is cool because we've always wanted a Detective Batman. And also, this is going to be a long, investigative, boring piece of shit. Based on
I think it's a period piece, too. I think it's supposed to take place in the 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, when I hear like an 80s period piece Batman, I'm thinking like a Burton-esque, like neon lights and fucking glow-in-the-dark graffiti. But this is not that. This is period piece set in the 80s, but they use like a lot of amber light and a lot of black and a lot of monochrome type of color scheme. And it just looks like a boring, long Batman movie.
Considering how colorful...
That noir quality.
Well, with how colorful and bright a lot of the recent DC movies have been, like Wonder Woman 1984, Aquaman, and Shazam, things like that, this is, kind of taking more of the aesthetic of like a Batman Begins or The Dark Knight, but almost making it even darker. Yeah, and Gary, like what you said, like I just think of, this isn't the case, but I think of sepia tones almost just from watching the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it more than you, though, for sure. I thought that it looked like, I really like the look of Pattinson's Batman in the bat suit. I thought looked cool, and I really like Colin Farrell's Penguin, and he's unrecognizable, and the voice seems to be on point, and he looks great. And, it seems like the Riddler is really the main villain of the movie, but you really see very little of him in the trailer.
Did you know that I hate Colin Farrell?
Why? I love Farrell.
I have no problem with Colin Farrell.
Because of SWAT.
That's the hill you're dying on, that you're like, no, this is why I'm out on this guy.
Well, all right, so because of Daredevil and SWAT.
What movie did you watch today, Gary?
Today I watched the Free Guy, right? That's what it's
called? That one was good.
With Ryan Reynolds, with that guy that plays Deadpool, and he
was
also
it good?
plays Ryan
was
Reynolds
it good?
in everything.
I like that movie. Yeah, that movie had me dying. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that movie was good, but I liked it.
It was funny. I liked it.
It was definitely very funny.
It was funny. Yeah.
Batman. I'm gonna watch Batman. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. Because I'm going to watch it no matter what. I don't care.
And you're on a podcast where we're pretty much going to have to force you to talk about it anyway, so you really don't have much choice.
I want to watch it. I just think it's going to be a long, boring piece of shit Batman movie. And when it is, and I'm just going to say I told you so.
So, I have not been excited for this Batman at all until I saw the trailer. So I had the opposite feeling. That movie looks great. I don't know what you're talking about. It's that gritty, dark Batman. He's gonna beat people close to death. He's gonna struggle with morality. You got a great cast, including Colin Farrell of SWAT.
Out of here.
Andy Serkis is Alfred. I mean, that's crazy. Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. So we're getting that Black James Gordon. Hell yeah. And he is the guy that's currently playing the Watcher in DC's What If. He's also from Westworld. He's great. He's an amazing actor. Paul Dano as the Riddler looks really good. And then Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. That's great. She looks great.
Her look in the trailer, too. She was rocking the Selena Kyle look,
She was killing it. She was killing it. People are going to come for it for all the wrong reasons. You already know why. and it's bullshit. And but this looks like a good movie. Did you get to the Batmobile, Gary? Did you see the Batmobile?
I just want to interject before I answer that question and say I banged Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I accidentally rolled my eyes like into the back of my head and like turned my head away and scoffed.
Just him normally, not him as the Penguin. You're saying that
him.
was just...
I just can't Colin Farrell. I just like looking at him is enough for me.
I feel like you didn't mention the other movie that you watched today. Didn't you watch Fast and the Furious 9 today?
Let's not jump ahead to our fresh takes.
Oh no,
later.
I'm just saying, because how are you gonna talk shit about SWAT?
I turned off Fast 9 today.
Fair.
Thank you
That's
very
fair.
much. How dare you?
Did I skip ahead? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, well, the Batman. So sounds like me and Jahan are high on the Batman. Gary is low on the Batman, but still gonna see the Batman.
Did you see the Batmobile though?
No, I didn't see the Batmobile for the Batman.
It's a muscle car.
What?
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome.
No, it doesn't.
I hated it for 5 seconds when it was on screen. I was like, "That's not the Batmobile." And then he like hit somebody with it. I was like, "I don't care. That's great. I'm happy."
I thought it looked cool in motion.
It looked so cool. And then it popped out of the fire like Ghost Rider. It was so dope.
I hate it. That looks like a Batmobile that a fucking redneck with no budget would make. Not a Batmobile that Batman would have.
Or an awesome guy.
No, it looks like a fucking Alabama Batmobile.
Or a cool guy from somewhere else, maybe.
Not a dope fucking New York Batmobile. And from behind, it kind of does have that cool, Ford GT look almost. But from the front, they've gone with like a classic muscle car, kind of a late 70s, the 80s kind of look. So it looks cool from the back.
It looks awesome. I love it. Did you guys watch the Black Adam trailer?
That's what I was going to go to next. So actually, let me lead into this Black Adam trailer by saying an interesting thing that they're doing in this DC fandom is the Batman had a true trailer, right? Mm-hmm. We saw a true teaser trailer. Whereas other movies, Black Adam, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Shazam, what's the Shazam subtitle for the sequel? It's Shazam, I think in the Fury of the Gods or something like that. And then even the Flash movie. So all these things they had behind the scenes looks. So, you know, some on-set videos, some things to kind of get you pumped for the movie, but no real trailers or footage, except for the Black Adam. Their behind the scenes look did end with a little, you know, minute and a half long or so teaser at the end that got to show off Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, aka James "The Rock" Johnson, as Black Adam. What did you think of this?
I thought it looked awesome. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I wasn't really that excited for the character. He's not somebody that's like on my list of people that I'm like, oh, that's one of my favorites. But, you know, I loved him in all the games he was in. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, also known as James "The Rock" Johnson, looked great as Black Adam. And then he caught bullets. He had lightning powers. He beat a bunch of people. I don't know.
He did literally grab a guy and disintegrate him to a skeleton to dust.
He skeletonized
with lightning powers.
A human being, and it was so cool.
Definitely seemed to bring out the evil side of Black Adam that we know. I mean, he's been cast as this part for like
a decade.
Yeah, like 6 years, 7 years. I don't know how long.
Right?
Been for forever, and it's finally happening. Like, it's just taken a really long time. So
he
I'm glad to
about
see it's
that.
finally happening.
He talks about that in the behind the scenes. He says, "I've been working so hard. This is a pet project of mine. I've been working my hands to the bone, and so I hope it's as good. If it's as good as the effort he put into it, I look forward to it."
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch anything with The Rock. I didn't see this trailer, and based on what you guys told me, I don't need to. This sounds dope as fuck.
I mean, it's really just a dark minute and a half of kind of leading up to a reveal of The Rock as Black Adam, and the suit looks cool for the most part. I mean, you don't get like a real clear look at it, but you do see the black and the yellow lightning bolt and him with a hood up that actually looks really cool. He looks pretty evil, so
I would have always
cool.
watched a movie that was just where the Rock plays the Rock and aliens come to Earth and demand that we have to send a champion to go do like an intergalactic universal space fight.
And it's by popular vote, so naturally everyone picks the Rock, the people's champion.
He goes and fights for the universe, but once he gets there, then you realize that he's had these types of inherent superpowers all along, like Black Adam. So I'm just going to pretend that this is my movie that I've always wanted to come to life. I don't care that he's Black Adam. I just want to see The Rock beating people up with powers.
We need to write that screenplay. I'm in.
It's already written. It's done. I just wrote it.
Black Adam does seem like, if you were more of a DC guy, Gary, like Black Adam would be one of your guys. You know? I don't know why he comes off as one of those characters to me. Like he would be one of your dudes.
Is he an anti-hero or is he just a villain?
I think he kind of walks that line, because I always have thought of him as a Shazam villain.
I've only ever seen him as a villain.
Mm-hmm. But I think he has been good before, or helped the good guys. I think there's like a dark Justice League or something of this sort, like an anti-Justice League that he's been the leader of. I'm talking on my ass with that because I don't know enough DC
there
stuff.
There is Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark is different though. That's something else. I think there is a DC thing like that, but I don't know.
I was gonna say, I know we talked about Venom, and Venom has that long history of going back and forth between being a villain and an anti-hero. And as far as I know, Black Adam is more on that villain side of the things. So I don't actually know a whole lot about him.
And everything that we see The Rock in these days, he's always a hero, right? The Rock is always the good guy who ends up coming out on top at the end of the day. And so if he is a true villain in this movie, it's going to be an interesting turn for him, because we're not really used to seeing him be the bad guy since maybe Doom. It's the last movie where he played the bad guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Scorpion King? I don't know. So anyway, yeah, well, I'll be interested to see more about it. Otherwise, the only other one that got a true trailer was the Peacemaker series that'll be on HBO Max with John Cena. And I mean, I don't have too much to say about it. It did look funny, but I mean, it looks, if you liked Peacemaker and you thought John Cena was funny in the Suicide Squad movie, then you're gonna like this. It's more Peacemaker. It's his own series.
See John Cena driving in a muscle car with an American bald eagle. You want to see that same bald eagle give him a hug? Do you want to see John Cena in whitey tighties having gunfights with other people that you've never heard of? You want to see John Cena cut people's arms and legs off? All right, there you go.
I was gonna mention there seemed to be a lot of him in whitey tighties action, which we saw in the Suicide Squad. Seems like we're gonna get a lot more of that in this show.
It looked like there are at least 3 scenes of that in this show, and that's just from the trailer. It looked like 3 separate scenes. There's one where he's like in his house dancing in his whitey tighties, one where he's in a gunfight behind an exploding car in his whitey tighties, and another one, I think, when he's caught by a female character in his whitey tighties. So it's going to be a running gag.
Yep.
I'm going to watch this series. I actually caught that trailer early this morning, and I'm on board.
It looks great. The cast looks great. The trailer itself made me laugh. It's just, I don't know. It actually, I wasn't on board actually, because Peacemaker in the movie, he was great, but I didn't need more. You know what I mean? I just didn't. And then this happened, and I was like, okay, I'm watching this.
Yeah, I also didn't need more, and when I heard they were making this series after that movie, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I could have some more.
His interactions in the trailer with the blue costume guy, I think he called him the Vigilante, it gave me very strong Tick vibes. Mm-hmm. Like the Tick show.
I can see that.
And I loved the Tick show. I feel like it was very underappreciated.
I can't believe that the Tick didn't survive its second reincarnation on Amazon Prime.
It was so good.
It's so fucking good. I can't believe it.
It's not like it was bad. They nailed it.
They crushed it.
They nailed it.
I would watch more right now.
I might watch more.
Yeah. I might go watch more after this.
But yeah, Peacemaker. I feel like Peacemaker might scratch that itch, and I'm excited for that.
I agree.
HBO is doing a lot of cool stuff with the DC license. They have more animated stuff coming, as always, and the DC animated movies are actually always really good, in my opinion.
We were just talking about what was the Constantine Deadman?
Justice League Dark, yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in a chat earlier today. We're talking about Justice League Dark, and I'm a huge fan of Deadman. Jahan's a big fan of Constantine, so that's a really cool show for both, or a cool movie series for both of us. And then the Harley Quinn show, I think I brought it up before on HBO Max. It's an adult comedy show, and it's funny enough.
Great show.
It's not funny. That shit kills me. It kills me.
I would not say, if you have HBO Max and you like adult comedy cartoons, put that one on. It's good.
And I also love Kaylee Cuoco. I never know if I'm saying that right, but I love her in everything she's in. She's Harley in the animated show.
She's doing a lot now too. She's kind of broken out from the chains of Big Bang Theory that she was on for years, and now between doing stuff like Harley Quinn, and she did that show on HBO Max that was called The Flight Attendant that I liked.
That was good
as well. So it seems like she's starting to get some more roles and do some more stuff. So I'm excited to see where she goes, because she, I think, was kind of she's kind of stuck on Big Bang Theory for a while, for as long as that show was going on. She was making bank from it. So you can't fault her for that. She was making good money.
And before that, she was on Charmed, so she's been in some shows.
But as an actress, I'm excited to see her kind of spread her wings, I suppose.
I love her portrayal of Harley Quinn.
The voice acting for Harley Quinn seems like she's having a whole lot of fun. It comes through in the studio.
Speaking of voice acting, another teaser that was released today was a teaser for DC League of Super Pets, which is about all of the different, basically pet heroes of the DC universe. And we get more of The Rock in this, because The Rock voices Crypto, the super dog, and he teams up with frequent collaborator Kevin Hart, who is Ace the Bat Hound. So, we get to see them both voicing those dogs in this teaser. And the main teaser does revolve kind of around a pee joke. So there's that, dogs peeing, and yeah. So there you go. That was a teaser that came out today. So
for those of you at home, Gary has his face in his hands right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, I have no problem with this, because all of these super pets, they're not inventions. They're all canon. They're all in the shows. Ace is even in Batman Beyond. You know what I mean? As the whole time. And I don't know. I don't mind so much them using that for kids. It is for
Gary,
kids,
I'd
right?
love to hear what's going through your mind on this.
Just because they were characters doesn't mean they should be characters. Let that go. Bury that. That's trash. Bye-bye.
I think it's a smart
garbage characters from a garbage time where they made pet versions of everything and motorcycles for everybody. That was the fucking late 90s. That doesn't mean they're canonical fucking characters that have some important.
They are canonical.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish my sentence. They're not canonical characters that have an important place in the universe. They are pulled out of the ass of the 90s to pander to every fucking market.
I mean, they're for kids.
Characters, and it's bullshit. The whole characters are for kids. They don't need pet versions for kids. It's fucking characters for kids already. No, fuck no, shit on this, piss on this, throw it in a flaming fucking trash can, kick it down the stairs, roll it outside, and run it over the fucking car.
You hear that, kids? Fuck you.
In addition to that movie and everything else we've talked about,
a shirt that says "Hear that, kids? Fuck you."
That's a good T-shirt.
There was a lot shown from a lot of DC's shows that I don't really watch. or this doesn't really do anything for me, but I'll still go through some of them because they release stuff for Superman and Lois, Supergirl, Stargirl, Doom Patrol, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Catwoman Hunted, which I think is an actual animated film, Titans, let's see, what else? Young Justice, Phantoms, which is season 4, Teen Titans Go. So there you go. They showed a lot of stuff for their TV shows. So if that's stuff that interests you, great. There's plenty of content out there for you. They also, one thing that I'm a little bit more interested in, they had a couple trailers come out for some of the upcoming DC video games.
Yes.
The first is Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League.
Before we pivot from cartoons to the games, real quick, I do want to talk about Young Justice real quick. Young Justice, in my opinion, is one of the best things that they have done with the DC franchise in forever. It's such a good show. You get to see a lot of those obscure characters that you don't necessarily see a lot of. You get to deal with Superboy, Blue Beetle. I feel like they make up some people for this show, honestly. You see, like, Sportsmaster gets in the mix, which I was telling Gary about Sportsmaster the other day. And it's just such a good show. Period. And it is not for kids. I will say that if you're listening, don't let your kids watch it unless they're at least like 13 to 15, I would say. But it gets dark. People die. I don't know. It's awesome. I just want to say that you should watch it.
I always like learning new things about you. And, as we've come to know in the past many weeks, you're obviously a zombie head, which, I know that well now. And now I know you're a Young Justice head. So there we go.
Love Young Justice.
Learn something new.
It's so good. So good. But yeah, now we can talk about
so
the video.
What if they do Young Justice Zombies?
Dude, man, like, I can only get so erect. Like, calm down. All right? Calm down.
All right. And so I had started to mention Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. This is Rocksteady's follow-up to, what was the last Arkham game? Arkham Knight? Batman Arkham Knight, I think, was the last game they did. They've been working on this for a while. And then the other game they showed a trailer for was, Gotham Knights, which is I think it's supposed to be kind of in the same realm as the Arkham games, but it's a different studio that's making this one. I don't think it's Rocksteady. For both of these games, they showed story trailers, so there was not really any gameplay in these. It was just to give you more idea of the story, which I will say, to their credit with these, they were not your typical FMV trailers that are just CG video that really doesn't show you the game. These look to be in-engine cutscenes and stuff, so you can really get a good idea of what the game will kind of look like, even though you don't see gameplay. I'm really just trying to cushion the blow for the reactions to these trailers, because I know that Gary is so anti-story trailers when he wants to see the gameplay.
Cinematic trailers are nothing. Cinematic trailers are just CG videos. That's not anything. That doesn't tell me anything about your game. Doesn't show me your game. It sort of shows me your game's graphics when they're running on an optimized platform and the game isn't playing. Like, okay, that's nothing. Their story of a game isn't the reason people are going to buy your game. People are going to buy your game because of a combination of the story and the art style and the graphics and the gameplay. It doesn't matter. I don't fucking care about your cinematic trailer. You wasted money putting that together. Show us your fucking game.
I don't feel that way. I agree for sure. I want to see gameplay. Cinematic trailers don't show you if it's going to be a game worth a shit or not. But, I mean, it does tell you what the game's going to be. What we know is 4 playable characters. My understanding is it is cooperative. You can be Captain Boomerang, Harlequin, King Shark, or Deadshot. And you're trying to kill the Justice League. Why? We don't really know. It does kind of seem to be that story, like what happens if the Justice League becomes corrupted kind of thing. Whether they're mind controlled or they just have this new definition of justice, it's hard to tell from this trailer. But it looks awesome. You're 4 characters that probably shouldn't be able to kill the Justice League, but you're gonna try, damn it. And they show Superman and Green Lantern fighting you, so it does give you something. And I would play this.
Yeah, I'll say my thing with these kinds of trailers that are story trailers is, Rocksteady has enough good clout with me because I've liked their previous game so much that you don't really have to sell me on this. Okay, they're making a Suicide Squad game with those 4 characters. Cool. I'm probably gonna buy it. So when you show me a trailer that's just a story trailer, hey, we're gonna set up the story. Like, no, I don't need to see that. I'm gonna play the game anyway. I'd rather save the story for when I'm playing the game and I can experience that for myself. The less I see, the better. Whereas, like, show me a generic slice of kind of what the gameplay is gonna look like so I can know what to expect. That's what I would rather see. So it's like, yeah, cool story trailer. I'm sure that's, kind of quenching the thirst of some people that wanted to see more for these games. Sure, but I'm already sold on the game. Just based on the credentials alone, of who's making it and the resumes involved there. So I get hesitant to watch the full trailers because I just don't really want to spoil anything for myself when I can experience it later.
Gotcha. No, that's fair.
When you tell me it's co-op, I'm on board. And if I can play King Shark and eat people, I'm doing it. So just show me King Shark eating people. Show me Harley Quinn bashing people with a fucking bat or a hammer. That's all we need to see. We just need to see a few clips of our beat 'em up in action. Maybe, 30 seconds of gameplay.
I did enjoy the part in the trailer where King Shark, someone died, I don't know who, but King Shark's trying to convince Waller that they're still alive and she needs to blow up their head because he thinks it's funny. I did like that.
Which, shout out to Samoa Joe, who voices King Shark in that game.
Yeah, he should have always, well, not should have always, but he's got a great voice, and Samoa Joe should transition into voice acting really easily, I think.
It looks like he's already halfway there, yeah.
Man, injuries were plaguing his late career, but he could still cut a bad guy promo better than just about anybody else around. And just listening to his promos one night, I was like, Jesus, man, this guy needs to voice act. Like, get him, put him. He doesn't look that menacing, but put him behind a fucking microphone, and he's terrifying.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have a terrible voice, but I do. So.
That's all right, man. Somebody has to voice a grumpy potato.
Nice.
And people listen to this podcast, so that means that your voice can't be that bad because they listen to you. So take that as a compliment.
But it might be like a glutton for punishment kind of thing. They're sitting in the car like, yeah, torture me. That kind of thing, Some people kinky. I don't know.
And then Gotham Knights was the other game, which kind of has similar vibes, I think, to the 4-player aspect. I believe that it's going to be co-op also, but I believe in this game, Batman is dead, so you're playing as other characters, like I think Nightwing and Robin, and I don't even remember who. Red Hood, yeah.
It's my understanding that this game is. I thought this game was already out, and this is an expansion.
No, this game's not out yet.
This game is not out yet. Okay. Well, this game looks dope. This game, and it does look co-op as well. And if it's in the same, is it part of the same Arkham series? Is it part of that?
I thought it was, but I had seen something recently that said maybe it wasn't. But yet Batman, I think, is thought to be dead at the end of Arkham Knight, or the public at large thinks he's dead. So it kind of lines up with that. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either. No, it looks cool and creepy and fun. And I mean, 2 superhero universe video games that are co-op in one day, I'm very excited. I mean, me and Gary will play any co-op game together. You know this.
That is correct.
And hopefully,
I know this because I played one. I did play one with y'all a little bit earlier this week, but we'll talk about that later.
We will.
It's a little tease.
Well,
do y'all have anything else to comment on with DC FanDome?
great work, DC. I don't generally give a shit about DC stuff compared to Marvel stuff, I would say. And not that I'm a Marvel fanboy, because I really don't care about a lot of the Marvel stuff happening until it comes out either. But I would say that this caught my attention today, the DC FanDome. I saw it all over the place. It was smart of them to kind of release all of this stuff at once and back to back and do it as like a big press event, because a lot of this stuff is now on my radar that would have otherwise slipped by or I wouldn't have cared about. So good job, DC.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Marvel is so set on the MCU, and they have their shows on Disney Plus that tie into that, and then here and there a video game, but that's really about it. And DC just seems like they have no shortage of content coming out. Now, whether that content is great or not good, can vary, but it's there. There's content. They have something for everyone, which is cool.
I've watched a lot of DC's animated movies that are not for kids, and I've liked all of them. They've all been very good. Their animated shows are way better than their cinematic universe. That being said, a couple things I'm excited for. They did say that they're going to have a Blue Beetle movie, I believe, live action.
I think there was just some concept art that came out.
Yes,
from that.
just concept art. We're just hearing about it. I'm excited for that.
Another thing that made me roll my fucking eyes. So, a Blue Beetle poster, and it says on the poster, Blue Beetle live action, and it's a concept art poster. So, like, I'm looking at it like, boy, that looks fucking cool. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not the style. That's not the art. That has nothing to do with live action. It's not a live action picture. Like, get that shit out of here. What, like,
well,
why?
I mean, that's just what these things are for, just to get you excited,
They should have shown a live action picture.
I would have liked to see one.
Picture that said live action really big on it.
I would have liked to see one.
It's adjacent to false advertising to put a dope ass poster up with animated shit that says live action on it. No, it's not. That's not it. Take that down.
Another thing that they talked about DC FanDome that I wanted to highlight, because good for you, DC. Milestone Media, they are trying to focus on bringing underrepresented peoples to DC, whether it be the heroes or the writers. And they are doing a program where they're trying to bring in underrepresented creators, drawers, artists, writers from all over the world together to work on to be the next generation of comic book writers for DC. And so that's really cool. I'm excited to see more Static Shock and Icon. Those are both very cool heroes to me. I love Static. Static's one of my all-time favorite DC characters, period.
Is there anything else?
Or should we move? Static Shock either. I got nothing else for DC.
We can move on to fresh out the box takes for the week. I can kick it off with some movies, because as y'all may or may not know, I like those. Last week, we talked about Bond in general. Since that conversation, I have seen the new Bond movie, No Time to Die. It is the 5th Daniel Craig Bond movie, and 5th and final. And but actually, the night before going to see it in theaters, I rewatched Casino Royale, which was the first Craig Bond movie. I thought it was, I thought it would be good to watch his first before seeing his last, just as a little refresher.
And for those of you at home, Craig Bond, that's James Bond's brother, right?
It's fucking Craig.
When y'all interrupt me with the joke that annoys me, I can't help but just go, That's my response.
You said it was the first Craig Bond movie.
I don't know. I know what I said.
Of the 5 Craig Bond movies.
So anyway, first off, Casino Royale is great. Really, really good. And so then I went to see No Time to Die and was a little bit disappointed. So there's that. It was really long. It's almost 3 hours long. It was longer than it needed to be. There were some emotional things in the movie that just really didn't click with me at all. Rami Malek is kind of the main villain in it, and he's fine in it, but the villain that he's playing sucks. Like, there's just not much there that's of interest. The action in the movie's really good, so if you like that good James Bond action, this movie has it, but just you have to sit through the 2 hours extra of story to get through that too, and some of that is it's not what I wanted, so it's too bad. If I had to do right now a definitive ranking of the Daniel Craig Bond movies, I would say it goes Skyfall, Casino Royale, maybe No Time to Die goes in there, Quantum of Solace, and then Spectre at the bottom. That would be how I rank the Craig Bond movies. Craig
Bond.
Colon
Bond.
Bond.
Craig Bond.
Movies. Craig hyphen Bond?
It's,
Craig? I don't know. Not
name,
Craig Bond.
Craig Bond.
The name's Craig.
Inventor of Gold Bond. Is Skyfall, so you said Skyfall's the best in the number one? Okay, I haven't seen any Craig Bond movie.
You haven't seen any of them?
Okay, maybe that's a lie. Maybe I saw Casino Royale when it came out.
Although we did say last week that, you think Bond movies are for old people, essentially.
I don't think
that. Or maybe that was Jahan.
I know that.
I said
Oh.
that. Yeah. I also said that.
Yeah, I like when y'all swerve me like that. Yeah, well, I've seen all of them, and
you have more gray hair than the other two of us.
Oh, okay. Now you're resorting to personal attacks here?
No, it's because when you have gray hair like that, Bond is better for some reason.
Maybe you're right.
Okay, I watched Skyfall and get back with you.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested to see or hear your thoughts on that.
All of your Bond talk has gotten me interested. I've been looking through different Bond movies, and now that if that's the best one, I'll give it a shot and see what I say.
Yeah, it's good. I'll talk about. I also watched Halloween, the 2018 Halloween. That was kind of a let's call it a seek boot. That's like a sequel reboot in once. I mean, it's a true sequel to the original 1978 Halloween movie. It ignores all the other sequels that came out. It's just a direct sequel to that. So it's kind of like a seek boot is what I'd call it. Which that movie in 2018, I really liked it. I had fun with it. I thought it was really good. So
I saw it in theaters.
This one
was a good time.
Yeah. So Halloween Kills is the next one in kind of the trilogy of these seek boot Halloween movies. So it's the same director as the 2018 one. I was excited for this one, and man, I was not a fan of it. Considering how much I liked the last one, this new one was just... Ugh.
Oh, you saw it already?
Yes, I saw it. I saw it in theaters. I saw it on Thursday evening, actually. I went and saw it, and this is actually on Peacock now. So if you're a Peacock subscriber, they released it in theaters and on Peacock the same weekend, so you can watch this from home. And I mean, it's so I'll say this: they went the route of like your more classic slasher horror and just went for more deaths and more gruesome deaths. So they're going for that. In this horror movie, and it's really kind of the town really banding together against Michael Myers and the evil that is plaguing this town. And yeah, I don't know. It just didn't work for me like what I was hoping, considering how much I liked the last one. I'll still go see Halloween Ends, which is the one that comes out next year, to see how they finish this off. Halloween Kills, this current one that I'm talking about, worth noting, was supposed to come out last October. Like, it was going to come out last October, and then Halloween Ends would have come out this October. Due to the pandemic, they shifted it a year. So we're just now getting Halloween Kills, so we should get the next one next year. But yeah, so big fan of the 2018 movie, not a big fan of Halloween Kills out 2021. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that was unfortunate.
The way you described it almost makes it sound like a zombie film where there's only one zombie.
Basically, that's kind of Michael Myers, right? Like
Kind of
he's
how
just
a lot of the slasher films wind up, honestly.
Sometimes they're just chasing a person or a small group, but when the whole town has to band together because of the amount and volume of the killings, it's almost like a zombie film, except there's only one zombie.
Well, Michael Myers is such an interesting character anyway, right? Because, okay, so if you've seen the original Halloween, he's a 6-year-old kid that murders his sister. And so he goes to an institution, he breaks out later, and he kills, I think he maybe kills like 3 more people. Maybe it's more, maybe it's like 5 or so in the original. And that's really it, right? There's only a handful of deaths in it, but Michael Myers represents just pure evil because there's no real motivation for his killing other than he just is evil and he can't help but kill. So then they made the sequel where, he gets out again 40 years later, and Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who escapes him in the original, he's hunting her down again, and there's deaths, of course, that happen on the way to that. But still, again, it's just a handful of Michael Myers murders. Then they just, in this new one, just decide to go all out and probably like quadruples the body count of the past few movies combined, just in this one alone. Like, yeah, we're just gonna have Michael Myers start slaying everyone, and he is, even though he's a normal dude, pretty tough to bring down, it seems like. So you just have to have that suspension of disbelief when watching it. But yeah, this one just didn't do it for me. So it is what it is, I suppose.
Still gonna watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, go. Yeah, do it. Especially if you watch the last one. Watch this one. It's on Peacock. Watch it at home. You don't have to go out in theaters and see it. Just watch it and see what you think.
And then know that you have one more to look forward to next year.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Mm-hmm. And then finally, as far as movies go, I had a good Blu-ray haul this week. There were a lot of good releases on physical 4K UHD disc. I walked away from the store with Free Guy and The Green Knight and Inglourious Bastards and F9 all on 4K disc. And of those, I've only watched one. I watched Free Guy, which I did not see in theaters, so this was my first time viewing it. And Gary, I believe you watched this too, and Jahan, you've seen this before?
Free Guy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did y'all like it?
I did like it.
This morning or this afternoon before the podcast, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. Yeah, it sort of reminded me of like an action movie, Ready Player One.
Yeah, definitely fits into the Ready Player One mold. I actually probably liked it better than Ready Player One, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Ready Player One movie, so that's not like the highest of praise. I thought Free Guy had some parts in it that I thought were really cringy and made me roll my eyes, but I thought some of the stuff really worked, and especially a lot of the very video gamey stuff in it, I thought was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Like, for once, it's a movie that takes place in a video game where it seems like the people that made it actually understand how video games work. Obviously, you have to take some liberties for movies, and it doesn't all line up, but there were some very video gamey things that you're like, yeah, I get that.
I would say for the most part, I agree, except for the guy who was like pursuing him, the police officer who was dressed in the pink bunny outfit, who could like remold the entire world at a whim in like almost an architect type of fashion from what's the Nolan movie?
Inception.
There you go. He's like inceptioning the map around, and anyone who plays video games knows you don't inception maps around.
I mean, honestly, he just looked like he was Fortnite-ing it.
He was inceptioning the shit out of it.
That's how it looks like. That's how it looks when people build a Fortnite. That's all I'm saying.
It's worth noting this movie, it takes place within a video game, but it does cut to the real world some, and you see like the developers with this game. Taika Waititi's in this movie playing a character that basically is kind of like the creator of this game, and so he's very wealthy and powerful in the world of this movie. And man, I hated everything he was doing in this movie. I could not stand any moment he was on screen. I was like,
perfect.
oh no, he's going for it, and like I get that he's having fun and just being silly. I hated every bit of it.
He was a fucking gem in this movie.
I had no issue with him.
Fucking almost every time I saw him, I was laughing my fucking ass off. He is such a stupid, shitty, hateable douchebag, in the best way.
I didn't expect him to. I didn't know he was in the movie. He surprised me, and I was happy. I was like,
I will forever locked in my mind will be Taika Waititi failing to do a kip up off the floor.
God, that was so funny.
In an all white fur outfit. Like it's burned into my mind. That's very good. Walking in the first time you see him and he's wearing that like fucking Ezio Assassin's Creed fucking hood. Like he's just such a fucking douche. Oh boy, what a great
his
guy.
Wardrobe style in the movie I can get behind.
Ace. Fucking aces, man. What a good character.
The other thing I'll say, so worth noting about Free Guy, and I won't get into spoilers really. There's not too much to spoil in this movie anyway. Like just go see it, I guess, if you want to. But I'll say this: it's a Fox movie. So this movie was being made by Fox when Fox was acquired by Disney. So that's worth noting because there are some Disney references that seemed very shoehorned in to this movie. Like they think that they're being clever. Every single one of them just made me roll my eyes. Like,
okay.
It was so pandering.
I can't think of any of them.
What? Oh man, they're good. They're awesome. And I have the exact opposite response as Drew. Because I know that for the longest time, you couldn't use the word lightsaber. You had to use a fucking laser sword. Right. You couldn't use the sounds. You couldn't license the music because Disney wouldn't let anybody fucking touch it. Well, now that Fox is Disney, they used it immediately as soon as they could. And it's a video game movie. Good, because the next video game movie that gets the option is going to use them too. So they use the fucking music. They use the weapons.
Right. They used a bunch of stuff from Marvel too. Yeah. Okay. I remember now. I didn't think anything of it though.
There's a part. Okay. Here's a mild spoiler for something that happens in the end of Free Guy. So, there's a part where Ryan Reynolds' character is in a fight and he needs, a weapon, something to defend himself with last second. It shows him scroll through his inventory and you see a star symbol and he clicks it and he, appears a Captain America shield on his arm and he defends a blow with it. And you then cut to the real world and see Chris Evans say, "What the shit?" Watching this gameplay. Well, there's your MCU nod. Cut back to Ryan Reynolds with a Hulk fist that he then punches the bad guy with, then follows that up with pulling out a lightsaber. And that's not enough. The Star Wars music has to play along with it. And then that's not enough. You cut to the real world, and there's a girl watching the stream who says, "Oh yeah, a lightsaber." And at that point, I like it was everything in me not to just shut it off. I'm like, this is just pandering to people. And I bet there were plenty of people that saw this movie in theaters that happened, and they legitimately cheered and fist pumped. And good for those people. I was not one of them. This, I thought, was just ultra cringe, ultra pandering.
I loved every second of it. I agree, it was absolutely pandering nonsense. Just like the entire movie, Ready Player One. I agree.
But now that being said, there were parts in the movie where like he pulls out a Mega Man gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's dope. There's a part where he pulls out the Fortnite unicorn stick and uses it as a weapon. I'm like, that's cool.
The
like,
video game references.
This is a video
better.
game. Yeah, this is a video game. Put in all the video game references, but the Marvel and Star Wars stuff just, to me, came across as, hey, we just got acquired by Disney, so we can do this. Let's toss this stuff in last minute. And I
I
thought it was
definitely
pretty
see what you're
great.
saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I'm with Jahan. I know what you didn't like about it, and I liked it.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. And I'll say that didn't take away from my enjoyment of the movie. I had fun watching
I
it.
was
You know,
surprised at how much I liked it.
I'm not
it's
sure.
definitely fun.
I'm not. I don't think I would re-watch Free Guy anytime soon, but it was good.
Yeah, yeah,
This is 5. I give it a 5 out of 10. It's fine.
yeah. That's actually, I think that's what I rated it to. Like, I usually do a 5-star scale, and I think I gave it like a 2.5 out of 5, which
I-
equates to about a 5 out of 10.
I give
so
it a
I'm right there with you.
6.5 at least. I think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If we're doing star
Maybe a
ratings,
7.
if we're doing star ratings here for the movies that I've talked about today, Casino Royale, 4.5 out of 5. No Time to Die, 3 out of 5. Halloween 2018, 4 out of 5. Halloween Kills, 2 out of 5. And then Free Guy, I'd give it 2.5.
And those
out
are
of 5.
boxes, right?
Those are
Yeah,
are
not
boxes.
stars. He's giving them boxes.
Yeah, yes, yeah. There you go. I give it 5. Fresh out the boxes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes.
Those were all the movies I had to talk about. I got some TV and video game stuff, but do y'all have anything else as far as movies go?
No. The only movie I watched was Free Guy. I don't think I watched any other movies.
I haven't seen any movies since we last recorded because I've been binge watching Doctor Who.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
I love Doctor Who.
Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's. Hey, you
That's all I
either
got.
like it or you don't.
I've never watched a single episode of Doctor Who, but I've
Oh,
heard
then-
it's pretty cheese dick.
I like it. It's funny. The reason I started watching it because I used to, partake in plant matter of a certain nature, right? A lot. Back in the day, I don't do it anymore.
Mean with that roundabout introduction.
It's been years, but I think there was like an episode of Family Guy where they made a joke about people getting high watching Doctor Who, and I was like, "Why did they do that? Is it dope?" And then so I started watching it, and I never looked back. Just FYI, a little insight.
Well, moving to TV.
Ooh.
Gary, is there anything you want to say about the Ted Lasso finale? Because the finale came out over a week ago, but we recorded last before then. So we talked about everything Lasso with the exception of the finale.
Yeah, we talked about some of our expectations for the finale, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And
So we don't have to we don't have to go too far into it, but did it live up to your expectations, or how'd you feel about the finale?
Yeah, I mean, it ended the way I thought it was going to end, right? The big reveal at the last second was like we could see it coming maybe 6 episodes out, which is fine because at first I was like, we saw it coming, but in the same breath, you don't need a twist just for the sake of having a fucking twist. Just because I saw it coming doesn't make it any worse of writing, I don't think, as long as they have a good journey plan for the characters. I was pretty sure they were gonna. I've been saying that Nate is the anti-Ted this whole time. He's the exact opposite of Ted. They've been building it, and I don't think that it's gonna have a happy ending with Nate coming back and being a coach and being on their staff. I think that character is now doing what he's off to. And a lot of people, from what I hear, they don't like that. They miss Nate. They used to like Nate. Now they hate Nate, but he's a good bad guy, I'd say.
I agree. I think the build has been good. There's part of me that almost wants to go back and rewatch the season to see if there's more little like microaggressions towards Nate or things that he could have perceived as that I just would have never caught otherwise, and see what helped lead to that turn. But otherwise, yeah, I thought it was a pretty satisfying conclusion to the season that I've been watching, and a lot of the current storylines that were up in the air, I feel like they wrapped up what they could, but left enough loose ends that I'm excited to see the next season when it goes on. And yeah, I'd say I'm still a big Ted Lasso fan.
the golden moment of the finale episode, I would say, was whenever Roy Kent had his first Diamond Dogs meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And, and he voices his concerns, and nobody helps him solve this problem. They just listen, and then he finishes, and he's like, "So is that it? Sometimes we just bitch about our problems, and no one has to fix anything." And they're like, "Yeah." And then he has this look on his face of like, okay, this might not be so bad. And he walks out, and then Beard and Ted Lasso look at each other with just like the utmost excitement, like excited little children that Roy might finally join their little group of ragtag friends. And just their childish, giddy amazement. I think that was so golden in the episode. I remember Beard. I remember Nate saying, that he kissed Keeley and Roy didn't give a shit, and Beard was Nate's like, "You're not gonna headbutt me," and Beard looks at him, "Oh, I'll headbutt you." Like, oh man, I would love to see. I can't wait. I hope that's foreshadowing for something in season 3. I hope Beard gets thrown off a field when they're up against Nate's team. I hope something happens. Nate needs to get headbutted in the face, and I'd be happy to see Beard do it.
Yep, I agree. That's all I got for Ted Lasso. Do you have any other TV stuff you've been watching, Gary?
I'm gonna give Ted Lasso I'm gonna stick with this 9 out of 10. It's one of the best shows on. It's one of the best things you could be watching right now.
Agreed.
I have been watching my shows. I've been keeping up with my stories. Only Murders in the Building. I think there's 1 episode left, maybe 2. I've talked about it, I think, a few weeks on and off. It's a podcast murder show with Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez. And I like it. It grows on you. It's a mystery, and it keeps giving more. It has
30-minute episodes.
Yeah, they're like 22-minute episodes, maybe with commercials.
Yeah, I need to get on that one because I've heard good things about it. I need to watch it.
I watched the first 2, and they were good.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not sure if they really had a whole vision when they started writing the first season. I'm going to be totally honest, and I think they're really close to jumping the shark every single episode. And they might accidentally keep adding more leads when the episodes or the season was supposed to tie up somewhere else. It seems like maybe the writing wasn't great, but the performances are very good, and I like the show. I've also been watching Wu-Tang Saga: An American Story. This one was like a sleeper favorite for me. I discovered it over the summer and binge watched the entire first season just in time for the second season to come out. And I think maybe there are 2 or 4 episodes left now of the second season. And it's Wu-Tang. It's still the same thing it has been the whole time. It's, a bunch of guys from a very rough neighborhood in late 80s New York, and all of the gang troubles that they had to go through, and the life struggles and poverty, and them right now, this is their uprising moment. So the whole first season is before they're even in the studio together. The first season is not them on stages or with a manager. It is on the streets and in houses. And so now in this second season, they've gotten a little bit of studio time, and they're doing some live events and live venues for the first time ever. And so it's a fun series to watch these characters grow. And then after you watch the episodes, then of course you want to go get on Spotify and listen to Wu-Tang. So I've just been watching and listening to a whole lot of Wu-Tang recently.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's it for my TV shows.
It reminds me, did Reservation Dogs, did that first season already end?
Man, I guess. Yeah, it did like 9 episodes, I think, instead of 12, which was really strange.
Yeah, I think it was a short first season.
But I've kicked up a couple times, looked it up again to go see if another episode has come out, and nothing. I was wondering if maybe they had a strange split season break or something.
They do that sometimes.
I was just curious because that's another one that's been on my list, and I know you've talked about it before, but it hadn't come up recently. I thought maybe that first season ended.
Yeah, I think it did, and like I was saying, it's either 9 or 10 episodes. I thought there would be more. I expected more, but crickets. I'll look forward to seeing some more in the future. The show has something.
That show's great. Yeah, I love that show. Mm-hmm.
It's got, coming of age, and it's got the entourage type of cast, or a full ensemble cast, rather. And I like that, group of kids, and everybody kind of plays, the whole group is sort of the character.
Yeah, they all have their own episodes individually too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Jahan, did you have any TV stuff?
I have only been watching Doctor Who. So
Oh, that's right. You said that. We're not going to talk about Doctor Who.
But
you can start your own podcast and talk about Doctor Who.
It's a good idea.
I'll call it Who Am I?
Do you want to go on that podcast, Drew, and know nothing about Doctor Who and just tell Jahan how bad all of it sounds all the time? We can just
Listen
be there to bash
we
it.
We can do that now.
That's true.
Well, it looks like we have a lot of video game stuff to wrap up with. So,
yeah,
I say wrap up with, not like we're wrapping up now, but it's our last kind of category of takes before we do wrap up.
I think the biggest one is Back 4 Blood. I think that's going to be the biggest game we talk about. I think today this is one people have been waiting for I don't know, years, months, maybe a decade, depending on how you view this. It's the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. We played this demo, this beta, a couple months back, and we liked what we saw. And now that we've been able to get our hands on the game, I think I speak for everyone when I say I think we like what we saw.
Oh yeah,
it's even better than the beta and the demo was.
Yeah, I think y'all were probably a lot more excited for this than I was, just because this is way more up your alley. But that being said, I played with y'all earlier this week and had an absolute blast. I thought this was really fun and a lot better executed than I thought it was going to be. So I knew that people were hyped for this, but it still exceeded my own expectations. I thought I'm actually probably tonight after this recording, like if y'all are playing, I'll probably jump on there with y'all. Like I want to play more.
I do love I mean, I love everything zombie, as you all know. I even got special Sour Patch Kid zombies just for the release of Back 4 Blood.
I made some notes. I wanted to specifically talk about some of the things we liked about Back 4 Blood instead of just giving you a vanilla thumbs up.
I was going to get into specifics as well.
The difficulty. Jahan and I do not suck at video games at all. We are very fucking good at video games. The difficulty jump from recruit to veteran in this game, which is from normal to hard, is insane. It is so fucking hard.
It's so hard.
Like, you have to, in this game, you have to beat the entire chapter, the entire run all at once. You have two chances to do it. You have one life, one restart, and then after that, you lose. So you have to beat like 10 levels back to back to back to back. And the harder the difficulty, the more special infected they spawn. And so the special ones can do things like grapple you and pin you and hold you down. So when they start spawning 10 or 12 of these things, there is nothing you can do to stop that, to win the fights, to get through it. They just need some balancing, I think, on their difficulty slider. I'm not the only one who feels that way, though, which is nice. I
partially agree. For the most part, I think it's fine. It's hard. I don't know. I like it. I have no issue with it. And like as we unlock, because they have a card system in this game where you can unlock like, you don't unlock all the powers you have. You have a deck. You can equip cards that you can draw and add to your character throughout the campaign. So you get stronger and stronger, and like the cards get better and better as you unlock more back at base. So like at a certain point, we're gonna have the cards that are gonna make up for the fact that these things are coming at us 12 at a time.
And the way those cards work is that there are 15 slots, and whatever your first card is, you will start with that card. And the other ones, you get all 15 in order as you play through the campaign chapters. So you can start with things like revive speed to get your allies up or extra health, and then build into some combos later, knowing which card you're going to get in which order is really going to change your play style. So to Jahan's point, that is really going to change the late game of your build. If you have a build that can survive a lethal run, you're just waiting for the right cards so you can get that build until you can play Nightmare mode. There really is going to be some kind of balance in the cards that makes it achievable.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, yeah.
Which I think is a really cool part of the game. I had the cards listed as a note. The cards totally change your play style by, adding 20% stamina, 15% attack speed, extra bullets, extra bullet piercing. And then once you start stacking those things, your character plays in a whole new exciting way. Which is, that didn't happen in Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead.
No, this is definitely something, I don't know, they took Left 4 Dead and they upgraded everything about it, because the card system kind of gives it the RPG quality, where they
managed to make it way deeper.
Way deeper. And instead of having like, hey, here's the machine gun, here's the shotgun, they have, here's the AA-14, here's the, you have actual all these different guns. You have a huge variety of guns. You can apply upgrades to one of 4 slots as you find them. You can get all 4 fully upgraded. So you can customize guns, which is something you couldn't do in Left 4 Dead. Sans the fact that you could do like laser sights, I think, in Left 4 Dead.
The matchmaking is chef's kiss. Mwah! It's with every game that comes out these days. Yeah. Jahan and I take a huge steaming shit all over their multiplayer matchmaking on their first day and in their first week. And we've said it, and I'll keep saying it until I die. A bad multiplayer launch, if your first 2 weeks you can't get matchmaking working, you've just killed your fucking game. Yeah. If you don't launch well, your game will die. There are too many other free games out there that are working just fine to bring people to your game if it doesn't fucking work.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. This game...
Back4Blood, the matchmaking works like a charm. We don't drop out. We can go from one game to another. We stay in the same lobby with each other. It's just... We've had nothing. No issues. It's great.
It's the best first day of matchmaking, period. And it was all... I mean, it's better than games that came out like 2 weeks before, we never had a dropped issue, not a single one. We had a couple matchmaking things, but that's like people were dropping out, and so like it took us back to the lobby because there wasn't enough players. But that's nothing. That's people.
People quit games. People are gonna quit games, right?
So the multiplayer works. This game was free on Game Pass day one. Game Pass is also given free cosmetic items to everybody. You can go redeem those in your perks if you haven't.
4 free character skins and 2 or 3 free gun skins.
Yeah, it was dope, and the skins are dope.
I think I actually did redeem those when I played, so I'll need to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, go check your Xbox perks. It's right there. And I mean, I don't know, they killed it with this one. This one, it came out in October. It's got that, you got perfect that good timing. Zombie action. Yeah, perfect timing, perfect execution. The versus mode in this game. Did you play that with us, Drew?
I did. We won. We did a what do you call it? Where we played as you'd alternate between the squad and being the zombies.
The
Swarm mode, yeah. So because in Left 4 Dead,
I love the swarm mode. Yeah. That was going to be my complaint, was that it's no longer that campaign style. Now it's more of an arena, which is cool. I kind of wish we had both options.
I also wish we had both options, because in Left 4 Dead, for those of you who don't know, the versus mode was you would go safe room to safe room in the campaign, and the one side would try to kill the other side would try to make it, and then you'd switch and try to make it further or faster than the other team. This game, you're trying to survive the longest in kind of a shrinking arena. And at first, I was surprised by this. I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to be the same as Left 4 Dead. I actually like this. I don't know if I'd say more, but at least just as much.
The thing that keeps this really cool is that your rounds are going to be no more than 5 minutes, really. And so this approach keeps your games under, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And the other one, you'd be looking at 45-minute matches.
Correct.
It really, I think that's why they did what they did.
Yeah, it stops a lot of stuff.
And I would still like to see, could you imagine if somebody quit your game during one of the campaign ones and you just for like 45 minutes couldn't stop them and you just were stuck there doing bullshit?
Yeah.
I get it. I see why I'd like both. That's all. I'd like both. It's a lot of fun. I'm only nitpicking because I like it so much.
Yeah, I like both. But this, it stops long matches, and it also stops people from, exploiting stuff to get to a safe room. You know what I mean? Because you can't turn the game off. You can't end the match on your own. Like, you have to, the time, you either kill them or you survive as long as you can. And I don't know, I have so much fun with it. I'm addicted to the versus mode.
Yeah, so am I. I could play that all night long.
If you have not played Back4Blood, it is free on Game Pass, and it is a straight up, just a masterpiece. I love it.
I believe it's also crossplay from PC to Xbox.
It is. I haven't tried to do it yet. The way they said that you had to do it was kind of weird. They give you a crossplay like name, and it's like your name plus like some numbers that they add, and you send that to like a PC friend or something, and they can join your game. But in the regular matchmaking, you do wind up playing with PC people. So
we've been able to play with your brother also, who plays.
Yeah,
Keon
has. Yeah, my younger brother has been playing from PC with us. So I guess that does work then.
And it was seamless when we played with him.
I don't know.
Worth noting also, we're obviously Xbox Game Pass boys, but this game's also for PS4, PS5, and you can buy it for $60 and play it there. But what are you doing, man? Just get Game Pass and play it there.
We got it for free. Yeah, you can get Game Pass even if you don't have an Xbox. You can get it on your PC, and you can play Back4Blood for free on PC. We are not sponsored by them. We just like them a lot.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jahan, but you could theoretically get Game Pass, get the streaming to your phone thing, and then play on your phone.
In theory, yes.
Anywhere in your house.
Yeah, you could sit there like you're playing Switch with a controller in your bed. Yeah, you could.
You don't even have to have an Xbox anymore to just have a computer or a phone or some way to set it all up.
And also, while we're talking about it, you don't even have to download Back4Blood on your computer. You can stream it. They do have that option for games now on the Game Pass. You don't have to download it. I don't know what else to say. There's a couple other games. I mean, Game Pass has been killing it lately. They just released like 4 new games. I forget. Let me see what one of them's called real quick. I just downloaded 2 games. I'm excited to play them. Ring of Pain. It's like a little deck builder board game kind of thing. It looks
sounds
fun.
Like that combo at Taco Bell.
It looks like it reminds me of Monster Train mixed with damn it, Slay the Spire. And it's made by Humble Games, who made Slay the Spire. So Gary, you might want to check it out. It's called Ring of Pain. And then they also have Rift Breaker, which is like a resource gathering base building game that looks very fun. I haven't played it yet. I'm excited.
And Jahan, I think you had some other game stuff you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, I definitely have some other game stuff coming up here. Some exciting
stuff that Gary's really gonna like.
Gary's gonna love it. Yeah, so here we go. Animal Crossing, New Horizons, they're doing their last free update. I made some notes here so I don't forget anything.
This is Gary's game of the year for 2020.
It is. So first off, they're coming out with Series 5 of the Amiibo cards. 48 new cards, 48 new villagers. A lot of them are people you have never been able to get before, including like the ghost character, the bug catcher guy, both the pilots from the plane thing. So you can get all of them. And a lot of this is because they're bringing back Brewster. And you can, like, have coffee with any of these people. I don't know what that does. I don't know if you can get, like, special items from them. Pretty cool. You can also go back to Harry's Island. Harry has previously had, like, a photo studio on his island. But now you can go there, and he's going to start... You can help him build a camp there that's going to bring all of those, like, seasonal... Not seasonal characters, but the characters that are only there sometimes to sell you stuff and stuff. You can put them in, like, permanent booths there so that you can access them more frequently. You can also go, they have a whole new, they're bringing the character Cap'n back. He's going to serenade you with pirate shanties as he takes you to wild islands that could have different seasons than your current season. They could have different time of day, so you can get resources that would normally be locked to you. They also included exercise that you can do with your villagers, either with button presses or motion capture. So you can do a little bit of some stretches with your village in the square. They're adding cooking, which is cool. And they're also adding ordinances. So you can set your characters to like early bird, so they'll wake up earlier and stuff will open sooner, or night owl, stuff like that. You can change how your island functions. And they're also adding gyroids, which are those are the things that are sitting there when you want to build
They look like
something.
little fire hydrants.
Yeah, they look like little fire hydrants. In Smash Bros, you can use the gyroid to ride it and blow people up.
Shit you not, one of my original complaints about this game that I was so fucking furious about was a lack of gyroids.
So the gyroids are coming. You can dig them up in what used to be just the fossil spots. And you can find, I think you find pieces of them, and if you find all the pieces, you can assemble one. And you can put them around your house, and they'll sing with each other, depending on like how you put them, and they'll also sing along with music, so you can make a bunch of different sounds, stuff like that. It's a really good, I didn't touch everything, but it's a really good free update. And then they're also coming out with the first paid DLC, in where there's a new industrialist guy. I don't remember his name, but the character's like a little monkey guy. It's adorable, and he's like trying to do vacation homes. And so you go and you try and make all these people happy with their new vacation homes. Pretty much, it's like, if you enjoy the design aspect of Animal Crossing, this is it. Like, that's what it is. And also, it gives you all these new design tools to use back on your own island. Including, like, partition walls and pillars and stuff that people have really wanted for a long time. My older brother bought his friend a Nintendo Switch Lite and Animal Crossing at the beginning of the pandemic, and she has put like 1,500 hours into it. So there are people out there that need this, and my understanding from the community, because like I like Animal Crossing, but it's not like my huge thing. My understanding is that everything they've ever asked for is being added right now, so that's exciting for Animal Crossing fans. Something to look forward to. There is a Nintendo Direct you can go watch, detailing all of this stuff, and also it brings us into the other thing that I wanted to talk about: the Nintendo Switch Expansion Pass. Something that there's no way Gary's gonna get, but I might get it. So what it is, at first it was just like, hey, look at Sega Genesis and N64 games. You can play them on Switch now. Huzzah. And they're even...
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because if you subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, which I do, you do as well.
I do, yes.
And as part of that, you can play certain games online, but you also get the virtual console for the NES and the SNES. That comes as part of that $20 subscription.
Yes.
They announced like maybe a week or two ago.
$20 a year, though.
Yeah, excuse me. If I don't know if I said monthly, I meant a year. Yeah, $20 a year. That's a pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal.
They announced a few weeks ago, hey, also coming to Virtual Console are Nintendo 64 games and Sega Genesis games. So, of course, Nintendo fans are pumped. I don't know if they announced then that this would be an additional, basically, subscription tier or addition to your current...
They did say it during the Nintendo Direct.
So they said it. It was not... I was not expecting it to be as much as it is. So I'll let you talk about it. But that's just my take on...
No, it is a lot more. Because what is it? It goes to $50, right? Yeah, it goes from $20 to $50 for a year. The family subscription, where you can have extra people, is $80. So you can save some money that way. But also, I was thinking about it, and the Animal Crossing expansion that I was just talking about, it comes with it. I don't know if they're going to give you a free expansion of something every year or like often. I don't know if it's like going to be a continuing thing, but for the first year at least, they are giving you this DLC, and that knocks off almost the entire additional cost, because I believe the expansion is like $25 and the raise is $30, so it's almost free, practically free, if you want the Animal Crossing expansion. I know Gary doesn't want it, but Gary also doesn't give a shit about N64 or Sega Genesis remastered retro gaming, you know?
But see, I do. So
I do.
I like the Virtual Console stuff, and I was excited about hearing the N64 and Genesis stuff coming to it. But then when I saw that price tag, I was like, I don't know if I want to pay an additional $30 for the year just to be able to play N64 games.
I don't know if I want to either, but I fucking will. You can bet your sweet bippy. Like, straight up, I will.
So
they got my number,
with
man.
your wallet, Jahan. So much for speaking with your wallet.
Hey, man, I'm not strong enough. All right, I've been wanting N64 Virtual Console for so long, and like, see, that is kind of the fucked up part, is that they've teased this kind of stuff and they've drawn it out, and we haven't gotten it. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And so now I'll pay almost anything.
Now, instead of picking it up for $1 because that's what it's worth because it's an old piece of shit fucking game that you should have gotten in a bargain bin, now you'll pay $30 every fucking year.
I will.
Awful.
No,
Absolutely
the worst part that's going to make you mad, Gary.
The entire collection of N64 games isn't worth $30.
But they're going to keep bringing them out, though, is the thing.
All of them. All of them aren't worth $30, and then the Genesis games aren't worth $30 fucking dollars.
Here it is. I do.
It's worth it's the fucking. You could get a Raspberry Pi, fucking $15. You have
I have
every
a Raspberry
single
Pi.
game.
I have a Raspberry.
There you
Pi.
go. You have every N64 game and every Genesis game. There you
no,
go. You
Gary,
don't
that
pay
would be
anybody
illegal.
$30 a month.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you got your Raspberry Pi for what?
Because I wanted, because it looks cool.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone gets them as paperweights, and nobody uses them to steal things.
The other part that'll make you mad is the two games that I'm most excited to play are Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which isn't a launch title on this, but it is coming. They said it is coming. Both of those, I still own them for the DS. So that's going to make you way madder.
The only way that Nintendo gets another $20 out of me is if they make Waluigi a fucking Nintendo Direct only character for Smash Bros. And then you'll get my money.
That's fair. No, man, yeah. I mean, they announced Sora. That was cool. That's the other thing. Real quick,
I'm not cool that they announced Sora. You can't blow over that like it was cool. Sora was cool one time in a game like 15 fucking years ago. Kingdom Hearts 3 did like abysmally. That game was ass, and every game in between all of the half and the Time Chronicles and shit, all 11 Kingdom Hearts games are awful. What a shit fucking choice of a character.
Man, people love Sora. You can't say they don't.
That was a stupid fucking choice for a character who does a bad job in his franchise.
It was in the top 5. It was in the top 5 of what people want.
Is a Final Fantasy Disney franchise.
Yeah.
It should be the biggest game on the planet.
You're not wrong.
It is still bad. What the fuck?
The first one was hot fire.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was. And the second one was fine. Yeah. But boy, the rest are just fucking awful.
But yeah, so I mean, I will be. That's the thing I want to touch on. They are doing a Sora amiibo, as they do amiibos for all the Smash characters. They've also said that they're going to do Steve and what's the female Minecraft character, Jessica? I don't know. They're going to do both of those as amiibos as well. I look forward to getting them. And I'm also excited for the Metroid Dread amiibo pack that has Samus and the creature facing off in the pack. It's very cool. I don't know. As a collector, that's awesome. I'm excited. Metroid Dread. Did you hear about Metroid Dread, Drew?
I've heard that it's good.
It got shit on by so many reviewers because they said it was too hard. And I'm like, what do you think? Have you played like Metroid? Metroid's so hard. I don't know. It looks awesome.
I actually last week I was looking to get a new game, and I was between Metroid Dread or Far Cry 6, and I ended up going for Far Cry 6. So I'll get Metroid Dread at some point and play it. But I did get Far Cry 6, but I won't talk about it unless you are done with your Nintendo stuff.
The only other thing is that they are also hilariously releasing a N64 Bluetooth controller for the Nintendo Switch, in case you want to play with that piece of shit again. But as I have a GameCube controller and an adapter, I don't see the point. But
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not. As much as I loved my N64 back in the day, I do not have that much nostalgia picking up an N64 controller.
The controller is trash.
You pick it up and you're just like, what were they thinking? Even still.
Oh, now you sold me on it. I changed my mind. All the Nintendo stuff sounds great.
The best part about the controller, Gary, is you can't buy it unless you have the subscription. So, haha.
Is that true?
That is true.
Why does Nintendo hate its fan base? And why do you people still buy their shit? What the? I'm on fucking crazy pills. Holy shit.
No, you're not. You're the sane one. There is something wrong with us. You are right. But I will continue to give them my money. I will never stop. You hear that, Nintendo? I will pay any price for your content. But yeah, you can talk about Far Cry now.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about Far Cry 6. I decided to pick it up just because I hadn't played a Far Cry game in a while. Well, okay, I take it back. So Far Cry 3, I played through and beat, and really, really, really liked it when it came out. I bought Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5 when they came out, and both of those I played a bit and then got bored pretty quickly with both of them. And that was it. Maybe got like a third of the way through, whatever. Far Cry 6, however, is just scratching that itch for me for some reason. Like, I wasn't necessarily craving an open world game, things to do, but I've been enjoying it. And it's not really that it even does anything new or different than the other ones did. You know, it's Far Cry, right? There's bases with bad guys. Go take out the bad guys, take over the base, unlock a new fast travel point. Keep doing that while doing your main missions. And there's vehicles, there's helicopters and planes and boats and cars. And when you bring them to your base, you unlock those permanently so you can call them from a car checkpoint or, you know, whatever. There's all that kind of stuff. So it's typical Far Cry. You know, I early on in the game made the efforts to unlock the wingsuit and things like that for traversal. Nice. And one of the things that I really like about the new Far Cry is that, and I don't know if the last ones had this, but Far Cry 6 has this, where basically most of your fast travel points, your little bases and things you take over, you can fast travel between them, but for most of them, you also can have an option to either fast travel normally or you can airdrop. So any of your fast travel points you can airdrop to, so it starts you high in the sky above them, and then you can use your wingsuit or whatever to then zoom across the map. So it makes it way easier to get from point A to point B. Like if you want to go to a new base or go somewhere that you haven't unlocked yet, you can basically just fly there with your wingsuit or whatever, get there fast. And I really like that as part of the traversal in that game. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been really enjoying it, and yeah, I'll continue playing it. There's 3 kind of main lieutenants that you have to take out to then get to the main bad guy, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito, who a lot of people know from
Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian,
a whole bunch of other stuff he's been in. He's good in it as the villain. So I've taken out one of those lieutenants so far. Another thing to note about Far Cry 6, something that I really like that it does, is it's a first-person game, and I think the past couple games, when you get to a cutscene, you see the cutscene in first person from your character's perspective. And one of the things Far Cry 6 does is sometimes it does cut to cutscenes where you actually see your character in the third person, and it's like a more normal cutscene, which is Far Cry games don't usually do that, but it has made the story better in this one, I think. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons I'm a little bit more engaged in it, is I think the story is just being told better than some of the last ones. So anyway, that's Far Cry 6. I've been enjoying it.
It seems like they obviously put an effort into that because they cast such a big name actor as their, it seems like they really saw that and tried. So that's good that it worked out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played a Far Cry game, and I feel like I should play this.
I think that you would like Far Cry games, Jahan. Is this one still cooperative, Drew? Because
Yes, you can do co-op, and they have special operations, or you can roam around the map. And I actually need somebody to play with me here soon because there's a achievement for taking over a base with a co-op partner. So
Nice.
I need
so
somebody
one
to
of the
help me with
things you
that.
can do, Jahan, is like totally we can have different loadouts and you can shoot out like lights and alarms and go at bases at night and stuff, and you could stealth take down everybody. So I think you and I would have a lot of fun killing narco terrorists and running people over with an array of vehicles and guns.
I do love co-op.
Yep.
And all your guns are customizable, right? So you can put, silencers on them, or do different kinds of ammo, or make them have poison rounds so that the enemies will, kill each other for you. Things like that. So
They
and
usually
you can,
got some like in Far Cry 4, there's wildlife you can interact with. Like you can get on an elephant, you can throw C4 on the elephants and ride them into a village, jump off, and then blow up. There are lots of ways to solve the problems. You can shoot a cage and unleash a tiger inside of their compound, and tigers kill people. So, Far Cry, there's a lot of fun to be had in the series.
No, it sounds like I've always wanted to check it out. I just never have. Is there survival elements? You have to eat and stuff?
Nope.
No.
It's there you go. It's a survival game, but it's a first-person shooter game. So you throw away all the survival stuff, and instead you just shoot people.
But there
are
are
the survival stuff.
You do unlock bases though. So you unlock bases through the game that then, you could build certain things at those bases that help give you more supplies or resources, things that help you out, like maybe different buffs, and then you can.
Okay.
So you do collect elements throughout, like metal and gasoline and medicine and things like that you can.
That'll help. Yeah,
resources
I'll like
into
that.
your base to upgrade them and stuff. It's not like the most deep upgrading system, but it's there, and there's some cool stuff there. So. And you get little like companions that are little pets and things that you can help. Like the first one you get is a alligator that I believe is named Guapo, and you can send Guapo to go attack people for you. And then I unlocked a little puppy who's adorable named Chorizo, and Chorizo is he's one of those little I think he looks like a little dachshund or something, but he's his back legs don't work, so he's got little wheels like a little wheelchair type thing on his back legs, and he's super cute, and he distracts enemies for you when you use him. So there's things like that, in the game. So there's a lot of like it's made that you can play it as serious, or you can have as much fun as you want to. Like if you want to go in and set everybody on fire and do whatever, you can do that. Or if you just want to be stealthy and headshot people, you can do that. So there's definitely things, some fun to be had. But I'm really digging it. So I'm gonna keep playing it. But that's it. That's all I got on Far Cry 6, and I think that's actually it for all of us. I will say next week we will be doing a epic Dune spectacular. So Dune comes out in theaters and on HBO Max next week. We are all
October
planning
22nd, right?
Correct. So we are all planning to watch it. So we will be talking Dune movie and Dune spoilers and Dune tabletop RPG and Dune. It'll be all Dune everything.
All Dune all the time.
So y'all have that to look forward to.
If you want to join us, if you see Dune, if you watch Dune on the 22nd and on the 23rd, you want to talk about Dune, you want to hear about it, you can come by and join us on twitch.tv/Johananon. We'll be taking questions and stuff in the chat. We will, like Drew said, spoilers galore. So if you're one of our regular listeners, maybe give that one a week. Give it a passerby, because we'll be doing it up.
Yep. So, so that'll be next week on episode 16 of Fresh Out the Podcast. But otherwise, where can everybody find you guys?
I'm Johananon. I'm at RockFact on Twitter. I'm at Johananon1 on TikTok. You can follow all of us really on Fresh Out the Box on YouTube. You can check out Fresh Out the Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if that's not how you're listening already. That's me.
I'm Casualty CDG, and you can find me at Casualty CDG.
Everywhere.
At Drew Munhausen on Twitter, at Drew's Blues on TikTok, and of course follow Fresh Out the Box for all their cool shows going on. And I was going to mention, so me and Gary and Jahan have a messenger chat where we sometimes talk about things for the show. And Gary sent a picture in the chat just actually after we had started recording. Gary, can you describe the picture that you sent in the chat to the show with?
Let's, instead of me describing it, why don't John, since he hasn't seen it, why don't we have him pull it up and put it on the screen?
Yeah, Jahan, pull up this picture Gary sent in the chat and just let's get your thoughts.
No problem. Yeah. Let's see.
So this particular image was sent to me during the stream by a viewer of ours, and it said...
Oh, darn, I thought you took this picture.
No, it was sent to me, and it said, "This is Drew's." Or actually, it says, "Damn it, Drew." That's what it says.
Dr. Wiggles Wiener Wagon. It has a picture of a clown holding a ice cream cone of chocolate ice cream and a hot dog.
A very long wiener.
I was going to say, worth noting the hot dog is maybe 2 to 3 times too big for the bun that it's in.
And to reiterate, Dr. Wiggles Wiener Wagon.
And the clown's eyes are looking in opposite directions.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to Fresh Out the Podcast. Don't forget to hashtag Dr. Wiggles Wiener Wagon.
Yeah, please hit us with that. We appreciate it on Twitter. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Have a great week. We hope that we made you smile. Yeah, come check us out next week, and we'll see you then.
Hey.
Fresh